So, the other day, my wife and I were looking at a list of all of Robin Williams' films, going over it and comparing and contrasting, and which movies I had seen that she hadn't, and she had seen that I hadn't, and which ones were our favorites and things like that. And then we came upon Jumanji, and I admitted to her that I had never seen Jumanji. When it came out, it was like 1995. I was into movies like Pulp Fiction, Fargo, and things that came out around that time. And she's a few years younger than me. I was a teenager, but she's a few years younger than me, and she was like the perfect age to see that movie and have it, be one of her favorites as a kid in the world. And so she basically, there was no way I was gonna like that movie as a teenager. Had I seen it earlier, maybe. But so as a 30-something-year-old man, she forced me to watch it the other day, and I don't know, it was like a weird thing because I was thinking that I wasn't going to be able to enjoy it, or I don't know. It was a weird. I had mixed feelings going into it, but. The truth of it was that I had a really good time and I really liked the movie. And, it's not like my favorite movie or anything. I don't even think it's not a great film by any means, but it was thoroughly enjoyable. And I think what made it so was Robin Williams. And I actually laughed out loud like 2 or 3 times at a fucking kids movie. But I don't know. It was just a weird thing. I don't think I would have enjoyed it. I definitely wouldn't have liked it in 1995. But as an older person, as an adult male, it was great. And yeah, so I don't know. Just I think like most people have been thinking about things a lot this last week, and I get a lot of messages, whether they're emails or posts on various sites, and people are asking me about, looking to me for help with certain things, guidance, what should I do in this scenario? And I'm not an expert, but I always give advice. I usually say, hey, speak to an expert, somebody who actually knows the right thing to say and how to help people. I don't know that I know that, but I can speak from my own experience of my own dark places, and what I've done to crawl out of them. But I don't know, it's a weird thing to talk about. Like I don't know how to talk about it, so therefore I thought I should. I think the important thing is to talk to people, and I think, and it's the hardest thing. It's like a catch-22. It's a conundrum. It's a thing. It's like the last. I mean, I think the main thing you want to do is you want to connect with people, and you want to have those experiences, those one-on-ones, those. You want to tell people how you're doing and how things are, but you can't get over whatever that thing is to get to that point. And it's almost like you go through conversations in your head like, oh, I just want to talk to this person, but I can't. And I don't know how you get to that. But I do know that I spent a couple of years, I think right after 2007, right after I got sober, things got really bad, and I would end up on the floor for 3 to 4 days at a time, and just unable to move and do anything, and it was the weirdest thing. Like I can't explain it. Like I had no interest in reading, watching movies, playing video games, anything that I used to do to distract me from my thoughts. And it was like I was so heavy and I couldn't get off the floor. Like I was part of the floor. And And luckily, my wife, then girlfriend, she, I don't know, she knew how to deal with me and to help me, and kind of knew that I just needed to get through it. And she was there, like literally there in the room or nearby. And I don't know, over the course of several years of working toward a specific goal, that time on the floor got a lot shorter. And so now, I'd say it's really random, but maybe once every 2 weeks, I have a moment where, and I don't know what it is. Like, I haven't seen a professional. I don't know. But I get to a point where I can't deal, and I feel like there's just too much going on in my head, and it's like I can't think. And I just lie down, and I take an hour or two, and I just let my mind race. And then eventually I'm just too exhausted to think. And then my mind quiets, and then I can get up and go about the day. And to me, that's progress. But I don't know. Another thing is that I don't, personally, it doesn't matter what it is or what it isn't. This is something that works for me. This is me being in a good place. So I don't know that I have any answers for the people who come to me asking me for answers, based on the songs, the things that I say. I don't know. That's, I think, another outlet, another place to just get it out and let it go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that I have some things. I just choose to look at them a certain way in order to deal. And I don't think that there's any one way to deal with any sort of problem that anyone has. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this sort of set into motion a bunch of thoughts over the last week, like, I don't know, with Robin Williams in particular, just being so good and funny and just brilliant. And if, the way things that went down, if that could happen to him, what does that mean about, the rest of us? And I know that you shouldn't really compare yourself to anyone, because we all have our own thing. But I've always been, I don't know if I've always been, but I try to find something positive, something to hold on to and to use. And I think that from this, I think that the most important thing is that you need to talk to people and tell them how you're doing, good or bad. And just let people know. Because I think, and again, like, a lot of people come to me and say that they have no one. And I don't know what that's like. I know what that's like to feel that way. But once I made a decision to ask for help, I found out that where I thought there was no one, there were a lot of people that were willing to put down whatever they were doing to help out. And I think that's the case for most people. But it's just so hard to think beyond that wall, that thing, whatever you're in. So yeah, I don't know. These are my thoughts today, on August 18th, 2014. Yeah.